The next postgame show is presented by Tri-State Audi. Visit your Tri-State area Audi dealer today. OG Anunoby, 25 points. No Jalen Brunson for the Knicks. Number of Knicks played well, but Moses Moody for the Warriors, 21 points, 7 of 9 from downtown. Steph Curry, 18 of his 27 of the second half. And the Knicks go down. Golden State wins it 126-113. Mike Brown, as an assistant under Steve Kerr, was a part of 3 champion Golden State teams. But it's the Warriors who win tonight, 126-113. Great to have you with us here from our Delta MSG studios. Bill Pidto along with Alan Hahn. So we're at the halfway point. Knicks 25-16. A year ago, they were 26-15. However, they hit the halfway point, having lost 7 out of 9 and 9 out of 15.
Middle of the season, heading in the wrong direction, obviously, right, with that part of it. Add one more win, though, that doesn't count. The NBA Cup, of course, final 26 wins. Can you consider how many games they played, one extra game? And since that, you can see the schedule was relentless, and they really started to struggle there as they hit kind of a physical wall, right? You could see that with this team. But this trip held up a mirror to the Knicks. Playing Western Conference teams, they play a certain way, which is a very physical brand of basketball and a very up-tempo brand of basketball. And every single team you faced on this road trip, including the Portland game that you won, teams were showing you that they will play you physical. They're going to make you work. They're going to make you earn it at the rim. And the Knicks are a team that struggled against it. And that is something that they have to start acknowledging, number one, and thinking about whether or not they can take it up a notch and match that physicality, because that is something every single team has brought to the Knicks and said, this is what you're about. This is what we're taking away from you. Late in the second quarter, early second quarter, late first quarter, the game turned because what we warned you about. Warriors bench, very good. Jimmy Butler with that bench, excellent. They turned the game because they turned up the tempo and they got after it physically. And the Knicks bench couldn't handle it. Game turned there, and some things in the fourth quarter that we'll get to also went against the Knicks. They battled. That's what you wanted to see to end a road trip. But, like I said, I think this road trip held up a mirror to this team and what they're about. And teams are questioning just how tough they are as a basketball team.
Anunoby had the 25. Mikal Bridges went over 20 points, was 9-11 shooting. Deuce McBride had an over 20-point game.
The offense is fine.
Cat had a
even without Jalen Brunson.
Cat had a season-high 20 rebounds with 17 points.
Again, offense not an issue. Josh Hart said it yesterday. Offense not a problem with this team, even without Jalen Brunson. It is their defense and how loose they get defensively. And it is also how they respond to physicality and how they handle it. And that is, again, that is something that teams are showing them. When you talk to opposing teams about the Knicks, they're very impressed with their offense, how tough they are to defend. You have to get in them. You have to be physical with them. And the Knicks have shown you at times they struggle with that.
Knicks at one point in this game up 31-14, and then things turned, as you mentioned, because of the physicality. Brandon Podziemski off the bench for the Warriors had 19 points. That was really important. But down 12 after 3, you go to a couple of key sequences in the fourth quarter. If they had gone the other way, Alan, maybe the Knicks are able to get back into the game.
11-minute mark here. Watch Draymond Green, but this is a dirty play. He goes for the ball with one hand, but sneaky with the left hand. Watch the left hand, grab the ankle. It's a dangerous play. They call it flagrant 1. So you have a chance to make 2 free throws. We only make 1. Okay, well, you still can get some points. And instead, Brandon Podziemski runs hard through a screen, takes a hit in the face from the elbow. It really, again, they didn't call it a flagrant, but now it's a turnover. You don't get that. Here's a 3 by OG Anunoby. It should have been a 6-point game, but we review everything in the NBA, and you realize the ball was still on his fingertips. Take those 3 off, 6-point game becomes a 9-point game. And then, of course, Steph Curry, who had a quiet first half, wasn't going to stay quiet for long. He started knocking down some threes, and the splashes began from downtown. And then there was also trying to keep Jimmy Butler out of the paint. They got Karl-Anthony Towns a 5th foul, a 4th and 5th foul pretty quickly. The 4th one you saw Podziemski, then there was a 5th one they kept going at him. Now, OG Anunoby started getting mad and started taking it to the basket and started getting buckets. This is where you have to salute the Knicks, because last game of a road trip, it's not going your way. You could easily just pull the chute, sit down, and call it a day. They kept fighting. He had a 9-point game, but then Podziemski leaks out, gets the easy 2, and that kind of was, that felt like the end right there. But for the Knicks,
Butler was
This has been a battle. But Butler's been very good. I said, with the bench, he's so good. The Warriors, healthy for the first time in a long time, and they're really feeling good about the way they're playing. I believe that's 9 wins now, right, in their last 13.
Yeah, they're playing really well. And look at the statistics. The Knicks began hitting 6 of 7 from 3.
After the first quarter, you just want to go first quarter.
8 for 31 after starting 6 out of 7 from 3. The Knicks then go. You know, they've been very streaky from 3, and that's been kind of one of the problems there. The other night, last night against the Kings, they went 1 of 19 from downtown in the first half.
Couldn't hit a thing, yeah. And then they got cold again. You thought with the hot start, you thought, okay, you know, the lid's off the rim. They got back into rhythm. They bounced back from the worst shooting night they've had in over a year. And in the first quarter, it felt that way. From there on, though, the threes were not falling down. Now, you also have to give credit. The Warriors, by the way, are a top 10 defensive team. This is a good defensive team. And they started taking things away from the Knicks. They were taking the paint away, so you don't get the spray threes anymore. A lot more contested threes. And the Knicks offense really got stagnant. Without Jalen Brunson, yes, but also because there wasn't as much movement. There wasn't an ability to get around one so you can start creating movement on the defense. It was a struggle offensively at times, but I don't think offense was the issue. I do think for the Knicks, defense, especially in that second quarter, Pidto had 12 of his 19. I think that's really where things turned.
Butler had 32. And, of course, Steph Curry. Steph Curry did not start well. He went 0 for his first 4 from downtown, finished 4 out of 9, 27 points. He's a thrilling moment brought to you by FanDuel Casino. Get your thrill on. Steph Curry is 37 years old, and he's still got it. His average is 28 a game, and he had 27 tonight, Alan.
You know, just a little daylight's all he needs. And I always say, people don't give enough credit to the great players, LeBron James and also Steph Curry, the 2 best players of this current era, of their conditioning and strength, ability to just keep moving, never get tired, keep the balance in their legs. And his ability just to find enough daylight to get his shot off is why he's the greatest shooter in the history of the game, why he has changed the game by the way he plays. And that's, again, what makes him so special. So while he has a quiet first half, you think to yourself, it's coming. You know, at some point, it's coming. And it certainly did, especially when it was winning time in the fourth quarter.
So we're at the halfway point as we started the show. Knicks' rough patch continues. They're going to travel back here tomorrow, and they got Phoenix on Saturday, and Phoenix just beat them. I mean, it just...
Phoenix is another one, again, another Western. There's a long stretch of Western Conference teams, and they play physical. They run. They get after it. We know that. First game of the trip was at Phoenix. You remember that game. That was a physical game. And that's something that Phoenix is. They're a different team than they were in the past. They were a bad defensive team until they made the trade. They got rid of, you know, again, they moved on from Kevin Durant.
They're better without Durant.
Right. Also Bradley Beal. But they are a different type of team. They play hard. The Western Conference teams play this way. And the Knicks are learning something on this stretch against the Western teams. You want to win a championship, you got to be able to play like that. And they, right now, are showing you that they really don't have that ability.
All right, Alan, let's bring in Monica McNutt. As always, she was on the radio call on ESPN New York. Monica, what are you thinking about as the Knicks now are going to come home after a 1-3 road trip?
I'm thinking about defense. I'm thinking about physicality.
Yep.
I'm thinking about the fact that, guys, check this stat out. I don't know if I didn't give it to you in the pregame. Steph, Jimmy, and Draymond, they have the highest offensive efficiency for any 3-player lineup, minimum of 250 minutes, at 118 points per 100. I'm thinking about the fact that tonight was a perfect storm of the areas in which the Knicks struggle, 3-point defense, the areas in which, even still, the Warriors excel, 3-point shooting, and you combine the fact that you were missing your most consistent creator, and every basket required so much that there was arguably nothing left on the other end when you needed to stop to complete the run. That's a frustrating performance. I thought for a team that is statistically the second oldest in the league, they looked younger, bouncier, sprier. Now, I will give you the second game of a back-to-back for the Knicks, however you calculate that into what you saw tonight. And I will also add that they are in a historic, for their organization, 8-game home stretch. So they are very familiar, not only with this court, but with their routines and their regimes here at home. And maybe that is all why, ultimately, at the end of the game, you saw Draymond Green skipping around like Polly Pocket or somebody. I don't know what he was doing.
Polly Pocket. That's a good reference. Everything that you said there, it's like feels like, echoing all the things I was saying at the beginning about defense, physicality, game plan, all the different things that we're finding right now. I think I said that these Western Conference teams are holding up a mirror to the Knicks and letting them see, like, this is who you are. Is this who you want to be? And that, I think, has been kind of the concern. Second game back-to-back, we want to give it to them. I think they fought all the way to the end. There were some issues early fourth quarter that if it went the other way, this could have been a better game and maybe a better chance to try to steal one on the road. But you know what else, Monica, too, with everything you said there that I completely agree with? It's also another guy that gets hot from three. Moses Moody. 7 for 9 from downtown.
Come on.
And it's like there's a lot of games we see. It's another. It's not a star. It's another who gets red hot from three, and there's no recognition of, okay, that's 3 for that guy. Shut the water off. I'm sticking to him. I'm not helping off him because we're not going to let him get into rhythm. It just seems to happen too much.
Oh, I'm itching. This is making me itch. To that end, though, Hahn, right? Like you go, somebody stop the random. Somebody stop the random. Yeah. But then you're watching it in practice, right? And it's what the NBA does, right? It's the double team where somebody's uncomfortable. You make the farthest pass. And then you see guys, as we talked about, the Knicks should have employed, and at points they did employ it. You see guys flying around on the flight of the ball, and you just can't get there in time, right? Like a step late, a step slow, in the fog a little bit for this squad. This has been, I would agree with you, a big opportunity in terms of the stretch because you really got to have some hard conversations and look at the tape. Look at the stats. Look in the mirror in terms of what is looming in a season where there are goals.
What did you think of early fourth quarter? The flagrant on Draymond Green.
Were we setting the record for the challenges to start the fourth? That's what I thought. What is going on here?
You had to hear Pidto. I mean, he really started looking at the watch, the tick, 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 went for some Jolly Ranchers, came back. The nervous eating, Monica. But that felt like a moment right there, didn't it? Like the three-pointer by OG that took off the board. Look, that's, it was a right call. The flagrant, the fact that Draymond, as you said, prancing, dancing around, and also you could tell wanted to just, like, trying to punk Cat a little bit. Grabbing his leg, pulling him down. You missed the free throw. And then the foul, right? That felt like a missed opportunity. You had a bad third quarter. You could have made it a game with tons of time left. It takes the momentum. Instead, that possession right there, that moment, like this play, we're watching it right now, Monica, as Draymond Green grabs the left ankle with his hand. Dirty play. You got to make him pay there, and you don't.
Only made got 1 point out of the whole thing.
That's it. It could have been as much as 5.
Yeah.
The whole sequence. But I think one thing we did see, because there was a point to start this ball game, and I was giddy about it. I lost my little note here. These guys started hot. They were shooting 67%. I think they were 12 of 18 to start the ball game. Especially without Jalen Brunson, this group is such a rhythm group, right? Like, they got to be in rhythm, both offensively, and then that allows, obviously, I mean, we all hooped at some level, including Pidto, right? When offense is going, then the defense shows up on the other end, too. So they are such a rhythm squad. I thought the fourth quarter, whether it is capitalizing on that moment or the amount of challenges or how bogged down that thing started, it felt like a funky omen to what was happening because the Knicks then really never really found any rhythm in that fourth quarter ultimately. So, I mean, you go from the Draymond thing and then Cat picking up a legit fifth, and then he's out, and he had been one of your more productive guys. He had a 20-rebound night. There's a lot here. There's just a lot.
Monica, I heard Wally say voodoo last night. You said funky omen tonight. Get on a plane, get back east. Let's get back where it's normal.
Monica, have a safe trip home. We'll see you when you get back, okay?
Sounds good.
I love you, even though you trashed my basketball career.
No, you started
did play. At least I gave you credit.
Better than you think it was, Monica. Mike Brown's post-game comments coming up. His Knicks lose tonight at Golden State.
The Knicks post-game show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
Knicks hit the halfway point of the season at 25-16. They go down to the Warriors, 126-113. Mike Brown's post-game comments presented by Chase.
I thought we played good in stretches tonight. Our level of competitiveness was there throughout the game. The biggest thing was I thought their level of physicality was there longer than ours was, and you could feel it. throughout the course of the game. So give them a lot of credit, but we had a lot of guys bounce back and play the game the right way. I thought OG's aggression getting downhill was fantastic. I thought his decisions were quick with the basketball. Our spacing was pretty good. We touched the paint. We tried to spray it. I think at halftime we might have had 12 sprays. Cat was fantastic on the glass, getting a double-double. Obviously, it hurt us with him getting in foul trouble, but he was big, scoring the ball for us, but he was just as big hitting the glass with 8 offensive rebounds. It helped us stay in the game with the 20-second chance points. But their level of physicality, Moses Moody having a big game, and Pod's having a big game. It was really huge for them, especially with Pods coming off the bench. I thought he impacted the game with his physicality, his playmaking, and his ability to knock down shots.
Mike, you brought up physicality a lot in defeats. Why do you think your team hasn't been able to, I guess, match that in certain games?
You know what? I think we have throughout most of the year, and I mean, I'm not sure what our record is, but that's why we're sitting at second, maybe third. I don't even know where we are in the East, because we have played good basketball. As of late, obviously in the month of January towards the end of December, we've hit a slide, and that's the ebb and flow of any season that you're in. You're not gonna be here all the time, and we're sliding. We've slid a little bit. I believe in the group. I believe that we're going to bounce back, and we're going to figure this thing out and fight the right way. So just right now, going through it and dealing with it, we got to keep trying to figure out how we can do the small things, and it starts with us being just as physical as our opponents for a longer period of time.
Does the physicality, when you reference that, is it on the defensive end in terms of just making the offense feel your guys' presence? Is like, I guess when you break down what's going on defensively, what are you seeing some of the issues?
Yeah, so what I was mentioning was I thought our physicality defensively wasn't there in as long as stretches as theirs was. And I thought our guys handled their physicality. We shot 46% from the 2. We shot 37% from the 3. We had 28 assists. The 12 turnovers aren't bad. Obviously, the 19 points off the 12 turnovers are there. So I'm not like their physical. I'm not saying there has been in the past times when our opponent's physicality bothered us offensively. It didn't bother us. That's not what I was referencing. What I was referencing is they did a better job defensively in longer stretches than we did, and so our defensive physicality has to be there in a little bit better stretches than what theirs was tonight.
32 for Jimmy Butler, 27 for Steph Curry, and the Warriors beat the Knicks 126-113. Back now from the corner 3, presented by Michelob Ultra Superior Light Beer. So it seems like on a nightly basis here, Alan, we're hearing Coach Mike Brown talk about his team's need to be more physical.
Yes.
The Knicks have to be. What does that actually mean? Because I'm sitting here and we're watching the game. Is it because the other teams are able to drive the ball down the Knicks' throat time after time? Is that what he's talking about?
A lot of it is fighting over screens. A lot of it is getting through screens. A lot of it is also what happens after you come off a screen. Are they feeling you when they go to the basket, or are you just letting them go because you don't want to get a foul called on you? It's that second guy coming over. You see it sometimes, but you don't see it enough. It's not about throwing elbows. It's not about starting a fight. It's not about any of that stuff. It's not the 90s thing we all like to talk about. This is a little different. This is just making sure you're bodied up on somebody. That Moses Moody hit a couple, you're not hitting another one because I'm staying connected. What you saw, like Golden State, great example tonight. They would wrap their arms around. They would hold on to you. They would not let you by. OG Anunoby, how many times is he on the ground because he's going hard to the basket? He's getting hit by 2 guys. It's just for me, for the Knicks, this little stretch here, they have lost what they had early in the season defensively.
All right, so the Knicks are 6-9 in their last 15, 2-7 in their last 9, still in a midseason funk. Mike Brown and Steve Kerr, dear friends, worked together for years. When Brown was an assistant to Kerr, Warriors win it by 13.
The Knicks postgame show is presented by Audi. Visit your Tri-State Audi dealer today.
All right, so the Knicks fly back home tomorrow and then host Phoenix on Saturday. And, of course, the Suns just beat the Knicks. Then it's Dallas here. Note the start time, 4:30 pregame, game at 5 on Martin Luther King Day. And then the Nets are in town next Wednesday. Final call here from the corner three when we come back.
Second half of the
Keep the lights on, man.
It's late.
We wrap up the post-game show. The Knicks are back home Saturday. Phoenix is in town. Pre-game at 7, game at 7:30. You can also stream our coverage on the Gotham Sports App. Want more than just a post-game show? Link your eligible TV subscription to stream Knicks games free or subscribe today in the Gotham Sports App. Just go to gothamsports.tv to learn more.